Welcome back, Keyless Interviewers. And today I'm going to talk about a thing that I did, and it's right there. So today we're looking at my third EV, and this is the Audi Q6 e-tron. This is the rear-wheel drive model, Prestige. And I wanted to bring this out because I was meaning to do a video talking about some things that I was looking at potentially buying as the EV tax credit was starting to expire. I was starting to just do some research to see what made sense. And at the end of the day, it just made sense for me to get another Audi just because of the way that they could kind of get me out of my current lease. That's maybe a good discussion that we could have for another video, is your lease options, and in some cases how to get out of the lease a little bit early, especially when you're willing to stick with the same manufacturer. There's more leeway there and leverage that you may have that you understandably may not even know that's available. But let's get to the car. So looking at the Q6 e-tron here, this is, like I said, the Prestige model, and this is in the Glacier White Pearl. I believe that's what the color is. Either way, really nice color. It still gives me that Stormtrooper vibes. And if you haven't seen it, check out the video up here that I basically walked through a Premium Plus model that was exactly similar to this one as far as color, but yet had a few less features in some areas. And one feature that I would say I kind of wish I had, especially on a nice hot day. So kind of coming around, I still love the front grille. We're talking about just the way the design looks with the Audi logos in that white and black trim. If I was to do something that made it look like a Stormtrooper, maybe a vinyl wrap in certain areas to make that look a little different. The SQ6 has the slotted grills here that actually are done with a little bit of a black trim in the inserts, and that looks really good too, but I don't think I want to go that route. But either way, coming down the light display right here, where you actually have the customizable lighting. Now, if you get a Premium Plus model, you get one signature for the front headlights and for the tail lights. If you get a Prestige model, you get 7 additional headlight DRL signatures, and then still the single in the rear. Only the SQ6 and the the S6, if you were to get the sedan model or the Sportback sedan, that gives you the OLED displays in the back, which will give you the full 8 DRL signatures in the front and rear. Look really cool. I'll try to insert a video here so you can see that. But I still love the way this looks in front. The headlights up here, because they're projector style, and then you can kind of see them down there at the bottom, they are very bright, and I like the fact that I can see really good at night, high beams and low beams, no issues whatsoever. Integrated turn signals here, they come across in a cascading form, so that actually looks really good. Coming around to the wheels, now this is where I started to feel like I would have packaged this a little bit better, but I'm not too upset about it. This actually has the 20-inch wheels on it. They're staggered. These are 255/50 R20s. And in the rear, they're 285. So they're wider in the rear than up front, but still really comfortable ride, even though they're 20-inch wheels, which I do tend to like more than I thought I would. At first, I was going to try to opt to go to the Ultra package, which are taking them down to a 19-inch wheel. But after I saw that on another one, it didn't look as good. So I'm happy that we just kind of stayed with this route. The trim still has that little nice border here with the e-tron emboss. I'm debating on actually making the e-tron stand out with a little bit of a white insert into the e-tron. I might fool around with some vinyl on that to see what that looks like. The fact that I like this with the keyless entry here, you have all 4 doors that you can actually unlock and lock. The integrated mirror, of course, with your turn signal is really nice. And something I forget to mention sometimes is most drivers' blind spot monitoring is a little indicator here in the mirror. On Audi and Volkswagen Group, it's right here. You can kind of see the shadow of it. There's a little LED that basically lights up from the inside window. Makes it a little easier for you to see. Black roof rails, I like that there. There's a good contrasting trim between the white. And then coming around, now this is a controversial thing. And I'm gonna make a little separate video about this one because some people don't know, but if you push one side to open up your driver port, because you have 2 charging ports, there is DC fast charging on the driver's side, standard J1772 on the passenger side. Now, when you're charging, when you just open this up, the only way to close it is to push the door, and it closes it in a very slow fashion. You can't have both of them open because you can't charge in 2 ports. It makes a lot of sense. So one has to close before the next one opens. So that's the reason why some people are like, hey, it's really slow. I agree, it's definitely slow. However, when you are charging, there's 2 things that you could do. On the actual dashboard, I'll kind of show you, there's a way for you to just to open the charging door before you get out the car. So when you back into your charging station, you tap on that. By the time you get out of the car, it's already open. So that negates the whole thing about, hey, this is an issue. Now, when it goes to closing it, the minute you unplug the charger and you go to put it back, the charging door automatically self-closes. And that includes the flap down here for the DC fast charger, which was amazing to me. I was actually charging for the first time in Charlotte, and it did it. And I was like, wait a minute, what happened? So I was thinking I might have broke the door, went back, opened it back up just to look, and it was closed, no issues. Now, I will say that little mechanism that pulls that door might be an issue down the road, though, so we'll see what happens. Coming back here to the back, I do like the wiper being here. I wish that it was maybe up above it to give it a little bit cleaner look back here, but it still looks really good. Third brake light, the light bar, of course, like I mentioned, it's all the way right here. So you'll have across the board, and of course your signatures here. It's a very simple DRL signature. I'll probably insert what it looks like a little bit later. And you know, the rest of it's pretty good. Now, I want to show one thing here in the back. So coming inside, you can see that I've actually got the brown leather interior, which I really like. It was either this or the tan. I did not want to do another black interior car. Your rear trunk back here, of course, I can release the seats from both sides, either passenger and driver side, to extend more room. It is a 40-20-40 split, and you do have 2 nice LED lights. They're pretty decent. They're not as bright as I wish they were, but there is another LED light right above you here. So in a really dark area, it actually gives you a really good illumination around the trunk area. Now, this is a bag that I actually bought myself, so that's not included, but Audi does offer a similar bag that's a little bit bigger than this one. I did get the protection kit, which came with all the all-weather floor mats. You do have the side bend straps here on both sides, which is really nice. And then, of course, because it's the Prestige, it does have air suspension, so I can actually push this and it will actually drop the suspension down if I'm picking something that's pretty heavy and I don't want to go too high up, or it can raise it up a little bit higher if I need to as well. There's a little bit of underfloor storage here, which allows me to put in, you know, your simple things like your EVSC charger, which I keep that one in and still wrapped up in the plastic along with the front plastic. The rear subwoofer, for a minute I thought it wasn't working, but it's just, it's because it's so far away from you, you don't really hear that bass until you crank it up. So you have to really turn that bass up. And that kind of gets me to something that we can talk about inside. There is a little kick light. So roughly right here in this little area, that little, you see that little slight right here, there's a little illumination that comes out here on the bottom of the ground at nighttime that'll show you where to kick. Now, for you to close it, you actually have to kick and walk away. There we go. And you walk away from it and then it'll close on its own. If you're standing too close by it, then it will actually not close. I found that out the hard way by just standing there thinking something's wrong, what's going on. But coming inside where it's nice and cool, looking at the back door, really nice Bang & Olufsen sound system. This is the 16 speaker system. The 20 speaker system includes the one feature that I kind of wish I had, but it's not really necessary. And that is on the warm weather package, which gives you ventilated front seats, and inside the headrest you get the 2 additional speakers for the driver and passenger to give you that really good surround sound. Also allows you to get the directions from your navigation into your into your headrest, which eliminates the whole speaker from telling everybody what you're doing. So if you're speeding too fast or whatever. Back here, kind of a softish material here up top still. Really nice soft material here, kind of a leather wrap material. And then of course you get into the bins. I wish they had some inserts down here, a little nitpicking there, but it just keeps things from rattling. Yeah, same to you. Round. All right, so coming back to the back seat, you can see this nice brown leather. I really like the way it looks. And of course you got your cup holders back here. For your rear passengers, you do have the heated rear seats, which I like. You also have two USB-C ports way down here at the bottom. I wish they were up here and not down to the bottom. Separate vents here. No vents on the B pillar, which is okay because it stays pretty cool in here. That's one thing about this car, or most EVs, they stay pretty cold. So that's a good thing. You got rear net pockets for both driver and passenger seats. And of course you got a beautiful panoramic sunroof. Something else that I don't see a lot of people talking about, but there is the controlled lighting whenever you're in dark areas. So as I open up this car, you can actually see this light is on right here, right? That is individual from everyone else. So if you were to pull into a charging station at night and you had to jump out to go charge, only the driver's light is gonna come on when you get out, which is really nice, unless you change it in the settings. Now, one of the things that, you know, my Q4 and my Audi 4 did not have was a front trunk. And I was the type of person that I didn't think I was going to ever want one or need it. But now that I've got one, I actually do use it a little bit. I keep a emergency blanket kit in here. This is for my drone, and then a little old Volkswagen first aid kit that came out of my Audi 4 when I got it. And of course, you do have a nice little bin here. This divider can't come out, so it can allow you to, it can definitely allow you to kind of put something larger in here if you needed to. I got leaves going inside. Quick access to your battery to charge and jump off your battery, and also other access points to get to the main terminal for the battery, and a few other things if you pull this out. They do have a VIN attached here where you can pop this out to see the VIN number of the car if for some reason the windshield VIN number is gone. Of course, you have your windshield washer fluid as well. So just a really nice overall integration of everything. So that is, you know, a really good front end. I mean, like I said, to me, it looks like a Stormtrooper, 100%. So as soon as you get inside, it gets into the ready position, and my Apple CarPlay cut on, so there's probably going to be a little cut there. But from the digital cockpit, or the digital stage as Audi would call it, you have a lot of great features in here. You actually have the ability to say, I've got all of my, you know, speaker system here as far as the Bang & Olufsen surround sound. You have a speaker here, speaker in the A-pillar, speaker on the dashboard top up there. Then, of course, you got two more speakers in the door. So a total of 16 speakers here with the subwoofer. So it's a really cool look. And then, of course, as we look around, everything in here is just really nice. Now, when I looked at the original one, I did not have the passenger display, which is another great feature that you can have in the Prestige models. But is it useful? Yes, it really is. And the one thing I like about it is for your passengers, they become the navigator / the DJ, right? So a lot of people are like, well, you just reach over and touch this. Sometimes if the map's up, you really don't want to have that. So I can actually have the map up over here, navigating, driving, and then the passenger can be on over here, and they could be doing a few different things like, okay, I need them to, you know, change the radio station. They can go in here and change the radio station. I'll turn that down. I could go to YouTube if they wanted to watch YouTube. If they needed to look for some additional sites to go see, right? I can actually download a couple apps like Booking.com or Yelp, so I can actually have them look at what's coming up, what's in our area. If we were in a place that we didn't know, we can have someone really stage it. Spotify's available. Audi has claimed that they're going to add more apps to here. I'm hoping that they even add Google Maps. Since this is a Android automotive based system, Google Maps works way better on an Android automotive system than even on others. But I know that Audi's invested a lot with TomTom, who is the backbone of their map system, and it works really well. So if I was to navigate, hit search here, and I want to go to Disney Coronado Springs, I looked this up the other day. and it's going to calculate fairly quickly, and it tells you it's on a limited access road, which, okay, fine. Now, it's taken in consideration, I'm at 83% with 185 miles roughly. That's not rail, that's probably close to about 250 miles. But what this car does is it estimates based off of how long you've been sitting. And then this range that I see here, right, this is what it sees, that is adjusted based off of what I select. So, for instance, if I stop this route, and in that, watch that jump. That's what it's showing me now for normal driving around town. 270 miles. And to be honest, since I've gotten this car, I've got 670 miles, I think, on it right now. I am doing roughly around 3.1 to 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. So that is a really good range. For a 94.4 round up to 95 kilowatt hour battery usage, I actually can get about 320 to 330 miles around town, and I'm estimating getting roughly what the sticker says at 298, which is really good for you to drive on a long distance. And I haven't mentioned about how fast this thing charges. It is a really good charger. So coming back here, like I said, you can see when I did the Coronado Springs, it actually popped up those charging routes.
The destination is on a limited access road.
So you can see this is what it's saying. It's going to take me roughly 4 stops. Now you say that's a lot, right? But realistically, if I left right now heading there, I'm at 83%. I will get to roughly Columbia, South Carolina, and stop and charge for 10 minutes to get me up to roughly 51%. Get from there to, what is it? That looks like Pooler, Georgia. And Pooler, Georgia, or actually, no, it's not Pooler, Georgia. It's, yeah, it is Pooler, Georgia. It's how Flying J instead of it being Electrify America. Now, one thing I wish it would do is it would give you the ability to select just Electrify America, since I do have a year free of charging. That was the one thing that I was really a good perk, because I was using my Volkswagen plan on my last car with the Q4, and I hadn't paid for charging since I got that car. So this gives me a full year of charging, which would still have been almost the exact same amount of time of my Volkswagen plan. Now the difference is the Volkswagen plan gives you 30 minutes. This plan will give you unlimited use, period. That's the one thing I like. It's a premium vehicle, so they give you premium time. If you're one of those lucky people who bought a Q8, you got 2 years of unlimited on it. So it's a really cool plan to have. Plug and charge, you just plug it right up. I have had no issues with it whatsoever. It's worked since day one, since they set it up at the dealership. And that kind of tells me something I want to make sure people understand. When you're at the dealership and you're buying a new vehicle, please make sure that they do you justice and walk you through everything that you need to know about your electric vehicle. How to charge it, how to set up a charging plan, set up a charging app, getting your payment in the app correctly. That can make your day when it comes to pulling up to chargers and trying to figure out how to work it for the first time. So you can see here, right? It's a really good list of charging stops. They're all short, 17 minutes, 10 minutes, 14 minutes, 7 minutes. And it's saying roughly that I will get there by 10 p.m. if I left right now. That is roughly a 10-hour drive, almost like a 9-hour drive. So it's actually not bad for charging. You're still less than an hour total in charging if I left right now. So that's the one thing I would say is it's a really cool charging routing system. Is it the best? No. Now, what it will do is it will auto-calculate as you're driving. So it knows what it thinks it is at 185 based off of highway driving. That's what it's thinking it's going to get at 80%. However, that can change based off of elevation, traffic, everything else that can happen. So as it changes, it may adjust that 17-minute charging stop in Columbia to just 10 minutes, or it may increase it to 20 minutes. So it just kind of knows based off of where you're at and it currently to give you the best route. Like I said, it's not the best. We still know that Tesla is still one of the best out there in the business. Mercedes has had a really good charging route planning, I should say. BMW, I believe, is not bad, but I think Audi might just be a little bit better than BMW. You guys tell me who you like better in route planning if you own an EV right now. Going to the driver's display. This is actually another cool spot. Now, it may not work right because I'm actually recording. So in CarPlay, as you can see, I'm on CarPlay. if I wanted to see the navigation window over here, just by the standard navigation, if I hit the button right here on this side, 1 time, 2 times, it gives you navigation. So that tells me right there, there's my navigation that I just put in there for Disney Coronado Springs. Did I end that? Let's end that. So that goes away. That's all I see. I don't see anything. I just see a turn by turn direction. I don't see anything else. However, I go back to CarPlay, go to Apple Maps, and if I do Electrify America here, that's going to be in, you can see this is taking me to Charlotte. Watch this. So if I hit go, now I actually have the ability to see CarPlay on the right side. I am hoping, because we've already seen that the Q3, the new Q3, actually does offer a full map experience across this entire area with the car out of the way. I'm hoping that we see that in a future update. It doesn't seem like it will be that big of a deal because it already works currently in that form factor. This is a big plus because a lot of people, including myself, were like, hey, what happened, Audi? Why did you take the map system out of the driver experience? That just was a really cool feature that you had built into it. So then when I end the route, this is another plus, the map stays up and then you can still see that I can drive around. That's a cool feature. I like that a lot. So it's one of those things where at the end of the day, the ecosystem and the software for Audi, Volkswagen, Porsche, they're all going to get better. We all know that the agreement that they signed up with Rivian for their software experience to help build out, and of course Volkswagen Audi is going to give them the ability to use some of their technical knowledge as well as the money, right, to help with some of the manufacturing things for Scout. Scout Motors will probably be the first car that gets the Rivian software. I do feel like it's going to trickle down to Porsche next, and then Audi / maybe Bentley. Volkswagen probably will never see it, to be honest. Now, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I just don't think that they will. But this is a really nice experience so far. It is one of the quietest rides. Someone asked me a while back, what was the quietest riding EV I've ever been in? This is number 2. Number 1 to me still is the Lyriq. By far, that is still the quietest car. I have yet to drive the Escalade IQ, and I've heard everyone say there's nothing else better than that. So I can say that that's probably going to be number 1. That moves the Lyriq down to 2. Then, of course, the Q6 to me it would be number 3. With the air suspension, this car is so much better than a lot of others I've ever seen. I'm not going to go through a whole much more detail because I've already recapped it on the video. Feel free to go back and look at that. But I just wanted to show you my new ride. So I just wanted to let you know, if you are looking, do not forget to go look at an EV over the next 2 weeks. Today is the 20th, I believe it is, September 20th. And so you got roughly 10 days to look at something that you may want to get. The tax credits going away. Rebates are really good right now. They were better last month. I actually bought this at the end of August. I think it was on the 29th of August is when I bought this one. And I was debating on waiting, but I got a better deal then than I would have gotten now. So I would say still the deals are there. The tax credit is still going to be a good, effective thing. And even if you have to order your vehicle, keep this in mind. You still have the ability to have it as long as your contract was signed before October 31st. Before September 30th. On October 1st, that's it. You're not going to get anything from them other than rebates. Now, it remains to be seen what's going to happen with rebates, what's going to happen with dealer incentives, how they're going to adjust. We're pretty sure that for the leftover EVs that are still there and the new that are still coming in, because these manufacturers have invested millions and billions and billions of dollars into creating these EVs, creating infrastructure for these EVs, they're not going away. They're not going to close plants. They're not going to shift everything. Most of these guys are going to reduce how many they build, but you still need to know that if you're looking, there are so many ways that you can save a ton of money right now. So I really want to thank you guys again for joining me for another episode of Keyless Entry. It's been a pleasure of putting these videos out, and I thank every one of you for watching. Comments are accepted. Like I said, I'm respectable to everyone's comments, and I just hope you guys show the same respect back. But once again, it is great to be out here, and right now is probably the best time to buy an EV. And take your time, do some shopping, but you got 10 days left. Just 10 days left. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks again for all your support, and drive safe. We'll see you soon.